guys. So I found this so this is a VHS I got ages ago, and I just found out it's got old BBC material on it. Old BBC continuity. Sorry you can't hear me that well, because it's quite loud. But I'll shut up now. Is that Kelly Bright? Yeah, it's fucking Kelly Bright. MMX.
Next on BBC One, one of those priceless jaw-dropping moments on the Antiques Roadshow.
5 missing.
Gemma!
One more hour and I'm calling the police.
The way the girls have disappeared is practically identical.
She's not missing. She's been taken.
5 murders.
This is madness.
I do love you.
Will you ever get tired of saving me?
We have to ensure there are no more.
5 daughters. The story of the Ipswich murders told over 3 nights starts tonight at 9 on BBC One.
I was just a little
Out of order.
What's the rush? Yeah, you're pushing it all on me. Why's my fault? Hang on.
Nearly all TVs can be converted to digital, so you don't need to throw away your television.
Right. Hang up, Liz. You're charging. If you bet on Luther, then you stand or fall with it. One time deal. One time only.
I'm not completely sure he expects to walk away from this.
The line is easily crossed. Luther, Tuesday the 4th of May on BBC One.
Now on BBC One and also on the BBC HD channel. Some strong language and some scenes that some viewers may find upsetting. It's the first of our 3-part drama, 5 Daughters.
Right, that was the first bit. I'll see if I can find anything else. If not, I'll show you a bit of I found earlier. And sign off after that. So in case I don't find anything else. Bye!
And 5 Daughters continues tomorrow night at 9. If you've been affected by any of the issues in the programme and you'd like information and support, go to bbc.co.uk/actionline. If you don't have internet access, you can call the BBC Action Line on 0800 888 809. Lines are open 24 hours a day and all calls are confidential. Calls are free from a landline, though mobile operators will charge.
Yes, I did find some more material. So yeah, I did not sign off. I found some more material.
Election campaign, it's just not right.
They remind me of my 2 young boys squabbling at bath time.
The more they attack each other, the more they sound exactly the same.
The first 2 debates made the headlines, but as election day approaches, all eyes are on the final encounter. Almost time to make up your mind. The 3rd Prime Ministerial debate on the economy, Thursday, 8:30, BBC One and BBC HD. The election on the BBC, making it clear.
We're back to expose scams leaving you out of pocket.
Who here's fallen for a con?
Watch out, road traders. We never give up fighting for consumer rights. You're dangerous. Take your hands off me.
There's nothing like a kick in the butt to get things done.
It's Watchdog. Show you cannot afford to miss.
Thursday at 8 on BBC One.
The BBC News now on BBC One with Nicholas Owen.
Nick Clegg says he won't prop up Labour if they win the most seats, but not the most votes. It would be wrong if Gordon Brown carried on squatting in number 10, the Liberal Democrat leader tells the BBC.
A party which has come 3rd, and so millions of people have decided to abandon it and lost the election spectacularly,
that's British politics for you.
providing the Prime Minister of this country.
Criticism of the Foreign Office blunder over the Pope's visit to Britain. A bishop says some Catholics will be offended. At least 10 die as tornadoes rip through the southern United States. And on its 30th birthday, more than 30,000 turn out for the London Marathon.
BBC News at 10.
Good evening. The Liberal Democrat leader Nick Clegg says he would not prop up Gordon Brown's government.
PRC in Congress in Bournemouth.
Police investigating a fatal fire in Derbyshire say they've ruled out a 17-year-old teenager as a suspect. 2 children died in the blaze in Buxton on Friday. A woman and her 8-month-old son are in hospital in a stable condition. The Children's Secretary Ed Balls has been fined £60 for driving while using a mobile phone. The Cabinet Minister says
Oh, good luck.
He used the phone to avoid waking his children who were sleeping in the back of the car. Police car pulled him over. He says he accepted the fine and 3 points on his licence there and then. At least 10 people have been killed and dozens injured after a devastating tornado tore through the US state of Mississippi. Tornadoes also hit several neighbouring states. Our Washington correspondent Steve Kingston reports.
Utter obliteration is how Mississippi's governor described the
I'm
aftermath
filming
of
this
the tornado.
because this was quite serious.
Witnesses say it was almost a mile wide, tearing through this rural community,
Oh
scattering trees
my
and
God.
cars and flattening buildings.
My church is gone.
As the winds hit, residents put their faith in whatever cover they could
I'd
find.
hate to be
in
there.
the sanctuary and got on the pulpit table, and the whole building fell around me.
We got in the closet, so, you know, it sounded like the house was just going to explode. I'm in a tornado right now.
And this is the moment it struck, part of a trail of tornadoes to sweep the American South in recent days. The dead included a great-grandmother and children, the youngest a 3-month-old baby.
Oh,
But using chainsaws, local
that's
people
tragic.
were able to reach survivors in the most isolated homes. National
I
Guard
know, that
troops
isn't
have
a
joined
joke,
in
that is
recovery
actually
efforts.
tragic.
Power is slowly restored to thousands of homes. Not for decades had Mississippi seen a twister like this, and it's left some with nothing. Steve Kingston, BBC News, Washington.
A scheduled commercial flight from Baghdad to London took off today, the first in 20 years. After months of delays, the Iraqi Airways flight carrying 30 passengers left this afternoon, stopping in Sweden for extra security checks. It's due to arrive at London's Gatwick Airport in the next hour.
I
The
know I
airline
said I
says
was
it plans
going
to
to film
operate
the
2
news on that,
services
but
a week.
quite hooked at these short
The novelist and playwright
things.
Alan Sillitoe, one of the angry young men of writers who transformed Britain's post-war literary scene, has died at the age of 82. Sillitoe was one of the first writers to focus on the lives of ordinary working-class people. He's best remembered for his books The Loneliness of the Long-Distance Runner and Saturday Night and Sunday Morning. Our arts editor Will Gompertz looks back at his life.
Alan
that's
Sillitoe
sad.
was one of the finest writers of his generation, who made his name in the 1950s with his first novel, Saturday Night and Sunday Morning, a gritty portrayal of the lives of working-class young people in post-war Britain.
But
The
I'm
book
gonna
was then made into a film starring
fast
Albert
forward again.
Another few more, and that's a lot for a Friday.
So let's see all this.
14
Let's
pounds, 3 and tuppence, and 1,000 of these a day.
fast forward
No
to
wonder
more
most of them
continuity.
back.
Saturday
Sorry.
Night and Sunday Morning tells the story of Arthur Seaton, a rebellious young man
Well, actually, no, I'll
around him,
continue.
who was part of a new wave of British writing known as feature drama.
I'll continue.
Also being written by the likes of John Osborne and Kingsley Amis. They were known as the angry young men, a term Sillitoe always rejected.
Anyone writing about people in Arthur's situation were describing the process of them getting out of it. Arthur never had any such feeling in his bones. So it was different to John Brain's work and to Kingsley Amis's. I mean, good though their work certainly was.
Don't let the bastards grind you down, that's one thing I've learned.
The social realism of his writing continued with his next book, The Loneliness of the Long-Distance Runner, which was also turned into a film, this time with Tom Courtenay in the lead.
Running's always been a big thing in our family, especially running away from the police.
When these novels and films began to appear, that kind of broke up the ice flow, broke up the ice cap, and things began to melt and people began to look at things differently.
Alan Sillitoe wrote over 50 books and continued to influence subsequent generations. The band The Arctic Monkeys called their first album, "Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not." A clever line from a clever mind. It's from Sillitoe's novel, Saturday Night and Sunday Morning.
Remembering Alan Sillitoe, who's died aged 82. Now, with all the day's main sports news, here's Ollie Foster.
Nick, thank you very much indeed. Hello there. Rangers have won the Scottish Premier League with 3 games to spare. Celtic beat Dundee United today, but now can't catch their Glasgow rivals. Rangers clinched the title by beating Hibernian 1-0. James Shaw reports.
For the Rangers manager Walter Smith and his deputy Ali McCoist, a triumphant return to Ibrox.
I've decided the only reason why I said I was going to skip the news, because I thought most of the news would be about the 2010 Prime Minister election.
The key moment of the game was in the 17th minute when Carl McCafferty slotted home an angled shot past the hip-keeper Graham Smith.
Oh, go on!
McCafferty's robot goal celebrating,
as the Foreign Secretary told us over a drink.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much indeed. Your good health. And to the memory of all those politicians who've drunk in this bar.
Oh, it's been fast forward. I'll try and fast forward again, because I don't want to watch this bollocks.
I've enjoyed
Right, it skipped over the BBC
An insight into the Indian rail system and the stories of the people connected to it. You can catch Bombay Railways over on BBC Two, Friday at 9.
As I said, it skipped over the BBC Two, so I'm now seeing BBC Two shit. You're now going to see old BBC Two continuity.
Speed, power, adrenaline, and a whole lot more. MotoGP, taking racing to the next level. The European season starts with Jerez next Sunday at 12:30 on BBC Two.
Criminals aren't as smart as they think they are.
That must get monotonous. Someone as brilliant as you.
If you bet on Luther, then you
I like this continuity.
I'm not asking for your approval, sir. Just your silence.
You think I did this, then you need to demonstrate how and what.
One time deal, one time only.
I'm not completely sure he expects to walk away from this.
The line is easily crossed. Luther. New drama starts Tuesday the 4th of May on BBC One.
Oh, it's now back to BBC One.
Be careful who you befriend now on BBC One. There's some strong language as Tim Robbins and Jeff Bridges star in the thriller Arlington Road.
Right, I fast
all the regional
forward
variations of this show
because I
from
don't
10
want to stay
o'clock
after you, really.
tomorrow morning. If you want to get in touch with us, then you can via our Facebook
Some more
page,
classic
or if you
BBC
fancy tweeting, then you can
continuity
Twitter
coming up.
at LKO London, and you can email us as well.
I'm enjoying this.
At bbc.co.uk. Okay, with Barcelona conquering all before them at the moment, it is not just their on-field structure that is admired, as they are owned by their fans. That is a model that supporters of clubs over here would love to copy as well. Chris Legg has been on a European road trip this week before coming home to spend yesterday afternoon at Brentford.
Crichton Park has been a special place to be for Brentford fans in the last few years. Unique among Football League clubs in London and the South East. When you take your seat in the stands, you're effectively taking a seat in the boardroom. For the next 4 years at least, it remains a club owned by its fans. With supporters group Bees United in charge, results have mainly been good.
Actually, hang on a second.
Everyone's a fan of fan
I thought it was the end of that sports news. I'm going to fast forward.
Live on ITV1 and ITV1 HD at 4:35.
Fast forward to fucking ITV now. few crap. Who the hell? What the hell is that?
Good morning, I'm...
The Fluffy Club? That's a load of bollocks. That is something that is actually babyish. I know I like Pinga in that. But that's just crap.
Early in the morning, everyone...
I guess I'm gonna have to sit through the rest of it.
Everyone is you.
Oh, well, that's the end of the video of this VHS, so I'm gonna just show you the BBC ident I found earlier and then sign off. So yeah, bye.
The Antiques Roadshow's at 8. Before that though, on BBC One and the BBC HD channel, there's no place like home, and one of our Dorothys is heading back there. It's results time.